All right. So I am live today, but different than usual. I am alone, and Stevens is not here. Stevens is in Hawaii and having fun. So I'm basically alone, and I thought about um, what would be the best the best thing to work on. Now that I'm alone and kind of whether to pick up from where Stevens and I left off, or to just do a new thing. And it's always kind of hard because we have kind of our pace, and I don't know if I want to kind of stomp our pace and and do a different thing. um, but the more I thought about it, I think that starting a new thing, and just working on it for a couple of hours, is going to be a bit hard. Although I do have something kind of cooking. So um, I don't know. I mean, what I really want to accomplish is going. Let's go here, and so I'm working on Gong, and Stevens and I were working on Gong together. Um, sorry. So what I really want to accomplish with Gong is the create flow, which basically means that you're gonna create a ticket, and be able to kind of work off that ticket. Um, I don't know if you kind of know Jira, and how well do you know Jira, but the whole kind of create flow with Jira is a bit complicated because it really, really depends on how your specific Jira instance is set up. Um, so that's where it's really complicated to do that, and thinking about all the different usage of this product with all the different Jira instances that people are going to have. Because the thing is that what we found out is if we go and you know what, let me just clone this one here. So just 1 second. So cd go path. Um, src. And let's do git clone here. And if we go here to the Jira client, then what we see that we have all the transitions here, and we have a ready and a start hard coded. And what we saw is that it's different between my specific Jira instance and any different kind of Jira instance. And what Stevens did is he created his own kind of Jira instance. Hi, Dimitri, how are you? Hi, Love Support EDU, Live EDU support. Welcome to the stream. And Brandon Official, welcome as well. It's going well, Dimitri. I'm alone today, so you're welcome to keep me company. All right, so going back to what I was talking about, as you can see, we have a kind of a hard-coded um, transition list here. And what Steven saw is when you set up a brand new Jira instance, those are different. And what happens is that when you create a ticket with Jira, then the ticket can have different fields for different companies and for different Jira instances. So the create flow is not just, let's grab this Jira client and post some HTTP API. You need to think about the interaction with the tool even before you do the create flow, because what happens then, if you don't think about the interaction with the tool, then you might miss some fields. So that's where kind of, those things and creating a CLI that people are going to use, and in different situations, that's where those things get complicated. It's not just the tool or just the API or something like that. It's a bit more complicated and a bit more involved than that. And that's where that's where I'm kind of blocked with doing the create, because the flow to create, if you think about it, is not just, okay, let's put a title in. Because if you do that, then what will happen is that people that are using your tool will create shallower and less descriptive and less informative tickets than people that are not using your tool. Just because they're using your tool and it's a CLI, then it's limited with the amount of characters or how easy it is to create a ticket and so on and so forth. So that's what, for me, it becomes a bit more complicated. One thing, though, is that maybe if I do Gong create and I just direct you, kind of just open the Jira URL on the create flow, that might be good enough as a start. But again, I'm kind of not sure about it, so I don't really know. So we'll see how that goes. One thing that I do need is to actually, and this is a kind of a happy announcement for me. So today I got a brand new computer, and the one that I've been wanting a long time. So my Vim here is not really set up to what I want it to be. So fortunately enough, I have all of my Vim settings here, and so clone. So let's see what we have here. Cool. So we have this. So Dimitri is asking which one. So let me know when you can see my my keyboard camera. So do you see my keyboard now, or you still see my face? All right. So let's clone this here to .vim, and then what I want is to symlink here and do this, and finally do the make install. No rule. Okay. So let's see what we have here. Something is missing. So vimrc. All right, so this is all good, and now I can do a make install. And I'm gonna set up Vim just the way I like it. All right. So while Vim is being installed, let's think about how are we gonna do it. So in another screen here, I'm gonna just open my Jira account. And I just want to see how I can script that to open um, the create flow. So let's see. I'm just gonna enter my password here for a second, obviously off the screen. All right. Nini 520, welcome to the stream. Okay, so seems like if you go here, basically to the domain that you have, and then to create issue default, then you have this. And I think just opening this one will be good enough for now, even though this is kind of next and so on and so forth, and I don't really like it. But as you can see, we have components and we have fixed versions and product areas, and this makes the create flow from the browser to be from the CLI to be a bit more complicated. But I think if we just do that and direct you to this create issue default, I think for now it's enough. But let's see that. So let's see where Vim is currently. So .vim. Where are we now? So what's going on? Invalid argument. So go path. Okay. So bundles are installed, and it seems that my Vim is sort of set up. So I think for now that's good. Okay, so in order to do that, first, as you know me, what we're gonna do is open up a new TMX session, call it Gong, and then we're gonna split the screen in half and focus here on the left side. Now, what I want to do is cmd gong main.go. What I want to do is add the create flow. And the create flow is basically a command just like the other commands. So what I'm gonna do is just copy this. So let's go 44 lines up, copy this and put it here. What happened? So my Vim is not copy pasting. So let's do brew install reattach to user namespace. No. Okay, so let's install this. All right. The question is, why is Vim not pasting? This is what happens when you install a new computer. Sometimes things don't work. So let's go here and make install. Okay. So let's remove vim.go. And what's going on? Let's see. So Vim is on 8. All right, this is weird. So I think let's see what we have here. So someone is saying I am muted, but I can definitely hear myself. I mean, let's see. Let me go to Twitch. No, I definitely can hear on Twitch. So what can happen, I'm down mixed to mono. So I can hear on both sides. So let me know if you can hear now. All right, let me open the live edu chat again. So yeah, I can definitely hear myself here as well. So let me know if you can't hear me, and I will do my best to, check it out and see if I can fix it. Okay. Yeah, I can hear myself as well. And I see the audio tracking pretty loud. Acid mushrooms. Good to see you again. All right. So What's happening here? Why is my Vim installation acting up? So what do we have here in .vim and cd.vim? Okay, Vim here. So everything here looks fine. Let's look at the make file here. So what does install do? So install does the Neo bundle. And let's see what this Neo bundle thing is. So this will remove the bundle and do git clone and then do cleanup. Vim bundle, Neo bundle clean, Neo bundle check, and Neo bundle docs. So let's do this. Neo bundle clean. Oh, I don't see a Neo bundle clean here. Neo bundle install. My Vim is not copy pasting. And I'm not even talking about between tmux and not tmux. Okay. Acid Mushrooms, how are you, man? Bundle, okay. So let's remove .vim, vimrc. Yeah, I got a new computer. I got a brand new computer. I actually just got it today. So that's why I'm like installing Vim now. I kind of understood that, you know, too late into the stream, but well, you know, sometimes that happens. Yeah, I got a new computer. I've been wanting it for a long time, and I decided to do something good for myself. Oh, that sounded really sad. I don't know why it sounded like that. So this is what I got here. So do you see my keyboard now here? And this is what I got. This is the 2017 5K. I can't, like, my USB is not long enough, but this is what I got. The 2017 5K iMac, 27-inch. Okay, so we have this. So let's clone this. All right, so now this is here. Yeah, it's like the screen is incredible. But the thing is that I don't know if you can see it, like, but here on the edge, like here, you see a screen there. So I for the last 6 years I had the most amazing screen in the world. I had this is the Dell 30 inch True Color, and paid so much money for it 6 years ago, 7 years ago, and it's incredible. So in terms of you know screen and kind of screen quality, I don't see a huge difference. The Mac screen is definitely brighter, and the screen is nicer, overall. But it's not like I've been using some cheap computer and cheap display so far. And the resolution is better. So this is 3800, 3200 over 280. I don't know. So something like insane like that. Actually, let's see. So this is, you see this, yeah, so 3200 over 1800, and you can go all the way up to 5120 over 2880, which is, ridiculous. But yeah, it's incredible, definitely incredible. The best upgrade for me is just the overall hardware. So this is, if we go about here, so this is a quad core 4 2 i7, 32 gigs memory, and an 8 gig Radeon. So, coming from a MacBook, this is the true upgrade for me. Just the hardware of having a desktop computer and not a laptop. That's what kind of made the most difference for me. Right, so .vim and then this, and let's do a make install. Press enter. Error detected while processing, not installed. Okay. Okay. So let's see if we have a Vim version. Neo Bundle. Okay, so I have Neo Bundle. So yeah, definitely a beast machine. Like I said, I've been wanting this for a while. So it's a treat. Okay, so what is going on? Why is this not working? So let's try that again, and what might happen is that all of these are working. All right. So, okay, so let's try something else. Let's remove and let me grab that. And let me do this. And then this. And even though this is not my Vim settings, I just want to see if the problem is in my Vim um, specific settings or this overall thing. Okay. So this is not showing any progress, which kind of makes it suspicious. Okay, so let's see. What am I missing? So Vim is at 8. Maybe that's the thing. Although, who knows? So git clone. So something here in my Vim settings is missing. And this is really not what I plan to do. Okay. Fugitive status line. So yeah, this is not my Vim settings for sure. So let's do here. Okay, I have a solution. So let us do something better. And I'm sorry this is boring. So no, I don't use NeoVim. I use Vim. I tried NeoVim and I quickly quit. I don't remember what it was, but it was something basic that kind of drove me insane. But unfortunately, I don't remember what it was. Okay. So what I want to do is grab the .vim directory from my old computer, which will do exactly what I want. But first, all right, so this is it. And where is the Vim folder? There it is. And we're going to restore it. Okay. So while this is restoring, I'm not going to, focus on the rest here. So I don't remember what it was with NeoVim. I think it was buffer navigation that was really, really different and wasn't really working or something of that nature. But I don't really remember. So, who knows? All right, so I'm restoring the old one, and it's gonna take a minute. In the meantime, people that have kind of been watching the stream, in general, while I'm kind of, scratching my head here with some basic computer problems, then feel free to, ask questions, whether they're specific to the project or not. Um, Definitely feel free to ask them. One thing that I kind of I wanted to mention here today is earlier on today, I stumbled upon this kind of random stream on Twitch of some guy learning to code, and it got me thinking, and I think I will mark this recording time at 36 minutes, and I wanna voice my rant here. Um, so here's the deal. Um, I stumbled upon this streamer. I don't remember the name. I'm sorry. But he had about like 19 or 20 viewers. And he was legitimately kind of curious and learning to code, and I really had fun watching it. Um, Here's what really kind of threw me off. What happened was that he started to work on problems um, from this website, Coding Clash or Code Clash or something of that nature. And what happened was, I kind of got into that one of those kind of code battles. Um, and what happened was the kind of the problems were very basic, but they were completely detached from the real world. And I don't know if you guys remember, or if you even paid attention to the early streams or stuff like that. But I talked about it quite a bit on the stream, and I think the interview process today for engineers, specifically junior engineers, is pure abuse. And you know you can't deny that I am a career engineer, right? Whether I'm good or not, that's debatable. But this is my career. I work in that day to day. I go to work in the morning and I come home in the evening and I work again, streaming because I love it. Um, but I was kind of looking at that problem and I was banging my head against some of those problems. And even though the kind of is solved, and suddenly you kind of see one of the requirements is make the code as short as possible. And I think those kind of problems and those kind of websites, they're abusive to engineers. And what happens is that you go to interviews as a junior engineer and you're introduced to a problem that you're never going to encounter in real life. And sometimes a problem like that you're never going to encounter in real life, or say, hey, write this code as short as possible, or write this code with the least line as possible. It's causing bad habits. Um, and even though I really had fun watching the guy, and really had fun with the interaction in the chat room, it kind of got me to think about what's our state, here in the industry now with interviews and with just assessing how good an engineer is, or how bad an engineer is by a set of problems, that is completely, detached from real life. Um, so what I'm interested in, is if you guys have any experiences with to share, in the chat room about like what's the interview process like, what kind of the sort of problem space that you were introduced in an interview. What do you think about the state of technical interviews right now at companies? Whether you interviewed at big companies or whether you interviewed at smaller companies, I'm really, really interested to kind of know, what you think and what you experienced, because to me it's a sensitive, really, really sensitive subject, and when I interview people, I really, really try to take the problem as close as it can be to real life without overloading them with business knowledge, and just things that they don't have at the moment. But I never interview people with, hey, you have this, you're a game character and you have gold coins, and sometimes it's really, really hard to just put yourself in that problem space. What I do is I really, really get to people, in terms of like real problems and coming up with real solutions, other than rather than um, making up one of those problems, or putting a requirement in that is, um, make the code as short as possible, or with the least lines, or stuff like that. So I'm really, really interested, to kind of hear or read what you guys think about it. Okay, so now this is restoring. So this is cool. vmrc is here, and this is restoring. So as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm restoring, my previous Vim settings. It's gonna take a few minutes, but in the meantime, dot so cp mrc, dot before. Oh, okay, cool. All right. So in the meantime, let's open up Vim here, and all right. So Vim is kind of set up here. My color scheme is not here, and line numbering is not here, but at least I have some sort of thing working. Okay, so what I want to do, is split this, vertically and go to cmd gong main.go. And yeah, my color scheme is completely off, but we'll fix that in a minute. All right, so let's go 172. So copy this, and let's go 208 and paste it here. So this is going to be the create. And what this will do is, open the browser on the create page, or create ticket page. So this is authenticate new client, and then here this is problem starting a client for now. And then all of this is really irrelevant other than return nil. Okay, so now that we have this, let's vsplit here again. And we will go to our client.go. And what we need to do first is to add the create here. And what the create needs to do is actually just an empty method. And what it returns is a string and an error. And let's create the create here, which will return a string and an error. Cool. And then here we actually need the client, which is going to be a type client, which is our interface. And then we are going to return client.create here. Cool. And now here, let's go to Jira test.go and to Jira.go, and let's add a method here. So math so J, and then this is Jira client, and this is going to be create, and it returns a string and an error. Cool. And then here we can, for now, return, where were we? So let's look here. Where is this Jira? Here. So we can literally return this here, and then nil. This is obviously not going to stay, a static string here. But for now, this is good. But I think now what will happen is test will fail. And they do. So we need to go get here. And then go test. Okay, cannot find package. So we need to go install this. So go get this. So go test. Okay, cannot use client as type client in argument to start, to browse, to comment. Okay, so missing create method. Okay, so Jira test.go. We have the fake, so client test. So fake, cool. So we're missing a fake create method here. And this is going to be create. And it accepts nothing and returns a string and an error. And we can return here and nil. So go test. And our tests are passing, which is nice. We're not really doing anything, but, whatever. Cool. So now what we can do is we can test our create. So let's do func and then s. So let's copy this, yank. And I'm sorry that I'm like awkward here with Vim. This is not really my Vim settings, but I'm doing my best with the cards I'm dealt right now until my restore is working. So we'll do that. So we don't need anything And we can do URL and error equals to client dot create, or actually, no, we do create and then we pass the client. So I did. Winkle993 is asking, did you check out Spacemax? And the answer is I did, but I just couldn't stick with it. Not enough to, fall in love with it or fall out of love with it. I just couldn't really stick with it. And what happens is, I don't know if you notice, and I might be, talking out of my ass here, but I don't know if Spacemax. So this is how really little I have experience with it. I don't know if Spacemax is like terminal or is it a new window like MacVim. But for me, I'm using terminal Vim. I'm not using any sort of out of the terminal editor. This is why I don't use Atom and I don't use all of those like GUI stuff. So this is URL and error, and we are going to assert that the URL is this is the URL. Cool. So Spacemax is completely CLI. So I will have to check it out. And all right. So now, actually, let me pause here for a second, because what happened is that .vim is here. So let me remove this and copy users. So .vim here. And of course I need -r. All right, so we have .vim. So now vimrc, and let's do this vimrc. vimrc. So all right, so now this is my Vim. This is cool now. All right, so now this looks more familiar. And I have my airline. All right, this makes my life better. So let's see here. All right. All right. So let's see, Tmux, and split this here, Vim here. Let's see if I have this. Cool. All right, one last thing is my new theme. So colors, Dracula, raw, and copy this, and let's put this Vim colors, Dracula, paste this, and vimrc before. All right, so I don't have a vimrc before. So you know what? Let's just do color scheme Dracula. All right. So this looks good now. Now this looks like my familiar Vim. Awesome. So let's do go test here, and test should, no, they don't. So client, oh, here. So see that assert, this is what happened? We declared, oh, okay. So this is test test. So Winkle 993. I will definitely try that out. Maybe even like in 10 minutes. So test create. So now we're not declaring it. So build failed and error declared but not used because I don't want that. So this and go test. And now we're really failing. And fake commit message. So line 26 up. This should be. Oh, this is nice. This is the URL. Sometimes when you go back to the editor, you know and love. You're just, makes your life so much better. All right, so create is working now. So if we go to cmd gong main.go, so I will be stunned. All right, so are you staying with me? Because I'm gonna try it now. So create is this, and then open here, cmd open. So URL and error here, so we can copy this gong.browse. So if you can send the URL for Spacemax, where did you install it from? It will be great. So this is create, and all I need in create is the branch name. So cdcmd gong. So go build. What? Go build. Go get here. Undefined args. What? 226. CMD args. Args is URL and string. Go get. So 226. CMD is this. Cool. And one more. 226. CMD equals open. All right, go get. So build. So learning with my daughter. Learning with my daughter is incredible. We haven't streamed again. So gone create problem starting a client. So that's okay. Because I need to log in again. And to log in, let me go back here. And this is why backups are important. Did you see that? So let's go here. What I've done is I basically restored, from my old computer. So CP, so users, Avi Gong here. So go and create, and this should open a browser, and it does. Incredible. So now I owe Winkle 993. I owe him. So let's go there. So installation, quick install. Let's do that. Okay, so quick install. Now let's see where we are. First install Emacs. I have Emacs installed. Do we need a different version? So brew install Emacs. All right, so Emacs is installed, Spacemax is installed. Now what? Spacemax. Great. Brew tap Emacs, brew install Emacs plus. All right. So do this. And then brew install Emacs plus. And let's link apps. Magma Razor, man. Welcome back to the stream. How are you? All right, so this is installing Emacs Plus, and great. And now let's link those apps. Let's let that work for a second. Yeah, I'm live again. Um, like I said, you weren't here, but I had some computer related issues. So what happened is, I switched workplaces a few months back, 3 months back, and I returned my computer. And I was waiting for a new computer, which arrived today. Thank you. And now that it arrived, I'm back on the streaming. Because my older Mac, the laptop, the older laptop, is basically not going to work with OBS. OBS is really, really hungry on resources for some reason. All right. So what happened is, Magma Razor, is I planned on doing something, but then WinCall 993 came with the promise of, hey, you're going to be more efficient and your life is going to be awesome and you're going to be rich because you're using SpaceMax. He didn't use so many words, but that's what he said basically. So I'm going to try and use SpaceMax now. What's new, Magma? What have you been doing? All right, so now BrewLink apps. Unfortunately, BrewLink apps. No, you're not interrupting, man. That's all right. Symlinks and Homebrew to build proper. All right, so seems like cannot behave nicely with Spotlight using either aliases. Homebrew formula do not build proper. Okay, I don't really care about that though, because I'm gonna use it from the terminal anyway. Right, so install, then clone the repository, source code pro, launch Emacs, SpaceMax will automatically install the packages. Cool, so now Emacs -- insecure. Oh man, C#. All right. So SpaceMax is not doing shit. And now I don't even know how to quit Tmax. Can you tell me the specs of your new Mac? So sure. So as you can see here, can you see my keyboard? You probably can. So this is the new Mac. It's the 27 5K iMac, 2017 version. And this is the specs. So i7 quad, 32 gigs memory and 8 gig Radeon, 512 SSD, and yeah, that's basically it. Got it today. Super, super excited. Space QQ, but with looks like something. Yeah. Okay, so Space QQ. Cool. So it seems like something went wrong. I agree. Yeah, well, Magma Razor. In terms of prefer, this is the kind of drawbacks with getting Apple stuff. Um, whether you prefer or not is completely irrelevant. um, okay, so let's see. Let's go back again and installation. So default installation, cool. So default installation. So let's do this. And let's do this. Let's see if we have anything here. We don't. So then we're going to clone this into emacs.d, and it's already here. And so let's see. Git clone, spacemax, home, spacemax, emacs? What? All right. So let's see. So this is different thing. So editing style among the stars. Okay. So Vim, this is my preferred one. What distribution of Emacs starts with? So do I start with Spacemax or with Spacemax base? No, let's start with Spacemax. A lighter one. So what type of completion framework do you want? A lighter but still very powerful Ivy. No, I don't need Helm. So okay, so Magma Razor. To your question, that's one of the one of the good things about working with a Mac. And before I bought this iMac, which is obviously ridiculously just a sec. So before I bought this Mac, which is obviously ridiculously expensive, um, I was really kind of thinking about going all the way and getting a PC and working with Windows and Ubuntu inside the Windows. Um, but I just worked with a Mac for so long that I just couldn't really give up all that much. Um, and one of the good things about getting a Mac is that you don't think about anything, right? You just go and you get a Mac and that's it. With Windows, and I tried to get a Windows machine. Then you go through like all these components and what kind of cooling you want and this and that. And yeah. With a Mac, that's what Apple gives you is what Apple gives you, and you either like it or you don't. All right, so now what? So now I'm here, cool, and this is installed. And now what? So now I know nothing. All right, so I like how this is evil. Okay. All right, so now let's go to, you say, dot spacemax. And let's let's see what we have here. All right, so cd space. What's going on? Oh, spacemax emax d and spacemax emax. Oh, this is weird. Home equals spacemax emax. Yeah, I don't have anything in spacemax. It seems like, I don't know, almost like nothing really worked. Oh, okay, I got it. So it's cd spacemax dash emax dash d here. Okay, so what do I need to do here? Um, oh, this is weird. Uh, man, you see, I'm not rich. It's just rough. This is I feel like people trying to people trying to use Vim. It's rough. No, I can exit this anyway. Um. All right. So Winkle, I'm gonna leave space packs. It's too rough. For another time maybe. All right. So now what we want is here in the Jira. In the dot file wizard, which creates your dot spacemax file, but might check out off screen. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try. Okay, so now here, what we want is to grab the authenticated client and get the URI. And this is the same as browse. So URL, and then this is browse. And browse, let's see what gives us. This gives us a domain. Okay, so what we can add here is get domain, and this will return a string. And here, so a string and an error. So domain, and then this will return domain and nil. All right. So domain and nil. By the way, Magma Razor, remind me, are you from Menlo Park? Or is it someone else watching the stream from Menlo Park? So now this is domain and error equals to j.get domain. And then here we'll do error and then return this and an error. Cool. And then return domain and nil. And then here, what we're going to do is we're going to say that domain and error equal to j.get domain and error. So the same thing. This is going to be return this and so this return this and error. Otherwise, return domain and nil. So now let's test, make sure our test still pass. And let's go to CMD Gong and do go build. And let's do Gong create. And what should happen is open in the browser, and it does. So what we can do is bump version. So pip install bump version, and we're gonna bump version minor -- allow dirty. And let's see where we are here. So cmd main.go. We are on 133. That's not good. Bump version config. So current version is v133. And all right, so bump version allow dirty. Oh, this is minor. And let's go here, cmd main.go. All right, so this is 140. And actually, this is not true. What I want is 133. And what I want is to bump version patch and dash dash allow dirty. So this is v133. Come on, man. Bump version patch allow dirty. So this is v133. Cool. And patch. Nice. So now this is 134. And cmd main.go. 134. Cool. Awesome. So now cmd gong dot json, and let's see what we have here. So git add client dot, so git add this with dash p, and we have create, we have this one, we have this one, which is good, 134 134, and create here, and get domain is looking good. So git commit dash m, and we're going to do create is done, opening the browser on the create flow. So we're going to push it. And as a reminder, oh, I'm not. Oh man, this new computer thing. Okay, so now this is good, and we have gone here. Create is done. Opening the create flow. Awesome. So now that we have this, I don't know if that's great, but I think for now this is enough. What else do I want? What else do I want? Oh, I want to install. Oh, you know what? Let's not. Okay. So we have the create flow. And now if we go kind of look at the upcoming features that we have, the one that I really, really want is the next and pick. Because what happens is that, you know, sometimes, sorry, let me grab just a drink of water. So what happens is that usually I want to just pick up a ticket or pick up a story that I need to work on. And then the flow is, you know, go and open up Jira and everything. And I have Alfred here. So all I need to do is just like type Jira and it will open it on the browser. But it's still, you know, kind of breaking my flow with working in the terminal. Because as you can see, I work, you know, everything I do is in the terminal. So everything that kind of breaks that flow is really really disrupting. Um, but I think for now, Gong, um, Vimium, Vimium. What's Vimium? Yes, I know about that. Okay. Um, but I think for now, Gong is really, to me, just super, super useful. I really like use it every single day. Um, the start and the comment are just godsend to me. And it's not really godsend because I did that, but it's really a really time saving, a workflow saving thing for me. What I really really want to do is work on Bashir. Now here, so Bashir is a brand new project. As you can see, 5 days ago was the initial commit. And here is what I want Bashir to do. Bear with me here while I try to explain. So our software release cycle is way more complicated than just your average kind of software release cycle for a startup. And because of that, we need to run some commands manually. The release manager kind of sits and runs commands on the computer, which runs commands on the cluster. It's really, for us, it's really a problem to automate that in a way that will make us feel safe about what we're doing. So we're kind of in the process of automating that, but Bashir is really kind of an interim process to doing that. And here's what I want Bashir to do. So our release cycle says that. So let's say you need to run some script, release .sh, prod, do this, 1, 2, 3, I don't know, something. And what we usually do is we jump into Slack and we say, okay, so now, push pin, releasing one of our microservices, let's call it X, version 0.19.1 to staging, and then push pin like this, migrating, let's call another microservice Y, database to latest version. So the workflow is really jump to your terminal, jump to Slack, jump to your terminal, jump to Slack, jump to your terminal, jump to Slack. But then just run commands like jarhead, copy this command or run this command, which usually kind of, they're Ansible commands. So they're like Ansible deploy, -I with some, like inventory files. So it's going to be AWS, like inventory, .py, and then -- tags with some, microservice. And what I want Bashir to do is kind of have a manifest and run commands one by one. And before running a command, so it's going to have some, Bashir, let's say bashir.yaml. So it's going to have YAML file like so Bashir, and then it will have commands, and the command will have a name, which is going to be, I don't know, run migrations, and this is going to be command to do Ansible, some command, and then Slack true, which by default, and then let's say false, and then time equals false, right? So then basically this will go and run those commands and input you know, write the message to Slack, run the command, and then write the message to Slack that the command succeeded, and the time it took. So the output will be to Slack, pushpin Bashir running migrations, and then Slack like this. So pushpin Bashir migration ran runtime 2 minutes 33 seconds. I don't know, something like that, right? So that's really kind of my vision for Bashir, to get a manifest of commands and run them one by one with report to Slack with what happened. And if you think about it, it's really useful to stuff like cron. So for example, if you want to run something in cron, then instead of just running that command, you're going to run Bashir. And by the way, Bashir is just a name that I thought for this product. But you're going to run Bashir, and Bashir will run your cron command and then report to Slack. So it's kind of more of a, get a manifest of commands, run those, and report to Slack or to, some webhook. I don't know what happened. So this is really kind of what I thought for Bashir. And I think for the next week or so, my streams are gonna focus on Bashir, because that's where my ROI is right now. I think for Gong right now, the ROI for every feature that I add to Gong is really questionable at best. So I'm gonna kind of stop working on that and start working on Bashir. So it's Winkel 993. It's not really RPC because it's running a command that you have defined. So instead of you running, so let me give you an example, right? So we have around 40 microservices. So when we start a release of those services, we have a command, right? And this command is already implemented. So we have release start -- ignore service service X -- ignore service Y. So these are kind of services that we're running out of band releases for. And then some release tag. So let's say I'm going to start release tag of .20.0. So this is already implemented. This command is already implemented. We already have that command running. And what this does is basically calling GitHub API, cutting the branches, pushing, creating release branches, and then those in turn will call Circle CI. And Circle CI will run our builds. But for the release manager, what he needs to do, he or she, is basically run this command, report in our release channel on Slack, and say, hey, I'm going to start the release, and then run this command, and then wait for this command to finish, and then report to the release channel, say this command ran, and then run the other command. And you have about 20 of these. And for some of these, you need to wait a minute, and for some of these, you need to wait 5 minutes, and for some of these, you need to wait 20 minutes, right? So really what Bashir is about automating and running through a list of commands that you already have implemented, literally shell commands. They're not bash scripts, so to speak. They're Python scripts, but they're still running through a list of commands, and instead of copy pasting and running them one by one, which is error prone, and then reporting to Slack, because a lot of people all across the company are watching that channel and seeing what the release manager is doing, because you kind of need, as an engineer, you need to know what happens with the release, and where the release is going, whether you need to run your migrations or not. Um, so it's really kind of a way to streamline that communication in a way that every release command that is run through Bashir and is reported to Slack, and it's measured in time, um, and you have a log of what happened, and you can take that log and you can say what happened here, what happened there, or you can say this command has to run, this command doesn't have to run, and so on and so forth. Um, so really that's kind of where Bashir will come in handy. Um, so yep. So definitely, I think if I look ahead, this is where I want to focus my time more, because for Gong, I think that's it. um, I think it's been fun, and I definitely use it every day. But like I said, as an engineer, I'm thinking ROI, and everything that I add to Gong now is like nice to have, but I'm definitely not going to use it every single day. And it's going to take time to kind of develop that into my muscle memory and so on and so forth. So yeah. Yeah, it's not really a Slack plugin. It's just using some Slack APIs. Um, Mainly they're webhooks, so it's not really even that interesting on that manner. But it's really interesting in terms of, I know Golang and I know all of those scripts. And what some of them need, they need to run virtual env. So they need to run on a specific line and on a specific version of Python. Some of them need to use AWS session. Some of them don't need to use AWS session. Some of them are running in this directory. Some of them are running in that directory. So that's where it really kind of begins to be interesting in terms of like, how do you design that DSL? How do you implement that DSL? And how do you make that DSL generic, but not crazy generic in a way that it can run anything? Um, if you've been following Gong, you know that I first focus on my use case and then I focus on others' use cases. Um, yeah. Um, what else? So I think for today, in terms of what I wanted to implement, and also what I didn't want to, which is, um, you know, messing with my Vim configuration. But at least now it's working in a way that I can continue with my day-to-day life. Um, so people in the chat room, I don't know how many people do we have. We have 6 here, and we have, how many do we have on Twitch? So we have like 6 on Twitch as well. Um, so first of all, guys, if you like the channel, hit the subscribe, follow. Make sure you're gonna get the content. And so if you have any questions, feel free to ask those now, because I love answering those. So let's see. So we have Gong. One thing that I do actually though need to do on Gong is to build CMD. So here, okay. So this is built. So what I need is the GOX. All right. So let's do. You know what? I'm not gonna build version 1.3.4. I'm not gonna do a GitHub release for Gong 1.3.4. At least not now. Because I don't know if a lot of people are gonna want that. But 1.3.3 is released. And I think I'm gonna sit on the 1.3.4 a bit. All right. So what next? what next? So I'm thinking maybe start with Bashir, at least in some minimal way. By the way, if you want to kind of follow the GitHub, then feel free to go here. Um, but I think for now we are good here. Um, so Gong, I've done everything I want. Well, one thing I do want to do though is go here and do readme. And let's focus here, remove this. And I'm going to remove this from the Gong things and add Gong create and Gong on them. All right, so Gong create will open the browser on the issue tracker, create ticket flow, and no. You're not interrupting at all. I'm sorry, Winkle 993. If it sounded like you're interrupting, you're not interrupting at all. The whole point of me streaming is for that interaction. I love that interaction with with the people in the stream. You're not interrupting at all. Not with the Space Max, not with the DSL. I'm basically answering your questions and your comments. So if it sounded like I'm saying you're interrupting, you're not at all. This is why I do it. This is why I do this open. This is why this is open source, and this is why my stream is open, and I stream that content just for that interaction. So don't sweat it at all. So go and create. We'll open the browser. By the way, Magma Razor, I'm not sure if you answered my questions, but I remember someone was from Menlo Park. I don't remember if it's you or someone else. One of my stream viewers is from Menlo Park. I'm not sure who that is. So and Winkle again, man, going back, you're not interrupting at all. I'm basically just answering questions and loving that interaction. So Gone Create will open the browser on the issue tracker, create ticket flow. You can then copy over the issue ID and run gong start, which will create the branch, and you can start working on your ticket. All right, so this is this. Cool, and let's do this. So git add readme commit readme for the create flow, and let's push this. All right, so this is here, and now this looks good. And now Um, oh, you know what? One more thing. I want to run um, circle. So I want to run my project in Circle CI. Circle.yaml. So let's see, circle for Golang. Continuous integration, deployment. I don't care about deployment. I only care about installation. So make dir, go project, src, GitHub. Dependencies override, home, circle, project name, home, go project. So go test. What I know is I already have GitHub, Kenso dev, go solar proxy. So this is a project I've done a long time ago, which is basically a proxy for solar clusters, which was really, really fun. Oh, so here I have Travis. Okay, and you can see this is 1.3, so this is old. Okay, so actually, let's go with Travis. So here, and let's do this. Travis YAML. Travis YAML, right? So we're gonna run this and 1.8 and tip. And then here, git add Travis CI running tests. And now let's go Travis CI, log in, and make sure we are. Okay, so this is Go Solar Proxy. And Gong. Cool. Okay, so settings, what do we have? Build only if Travis YAML is present, obviously. Limit, build branch updates, build pull requests. Cool. Okay. So now, here, we should have Travis CI. Awesome. So now Travis is building our project. And let's add some README, just like add one line here. So push. And let's see if we have something running. Okay, so we have this. So as you can see, Go 1.8 is running. Let's see what we have here. Everything should pass with no issues at all. Okay, so do this. Let's see what we have here. Travis is really, really nice, by the way. It's been a while since I went to Travis. All right, and now we can add the Travis link. So Travis CI is a continuous integration service, and it's free for open source project, which is really really nice because for open source you just run and just everything is nice and cool. Um, and there is basically Circle CI, Travis CI, Code Chip. There are basically I think about half a dozen of those services. So for private repositories, so readme, just 1 second here. So for private repositories, we usually use Circle CI, but this is an open source project, and I really really like Travis for open source projects. As you can see, all of my open source projects are running on Travis because it's a really really nice. What? I have I have Ori I E TP. I don't know. Magma Razor, I think your last sentence is really unclear. Commit M, adding Travis CI badge. All right, so Travis CI, check it out. Really, really, really recommended service. Okay, so Gong, let's look at the build history. So this is still running. I don't know why it's running for so long. Using Go 1.5, Go env, Go package. Okay. So Go test is passing. And what we're going to see, why is build unknown though? Oh, copy image address. Okay, so this is the correct one. Okay, so this is the correct one. Cool. So now what we can see is on GitHub, we have our badge and the build is passing. And what we can do here is we can do develop and then I don't know, build status and then develop here and master here. So we can do this and master, and then this is master. All right. All right. So now we did this, and we should see the build status. Okay, and master is, we haven't really pushed master. So we are good. And what we can do here is git flow init. So git checkout master. And git flow init. Git flow install. I think it's nvh something. Some of these. Install. Installation. Mac. So brew install. Okay. Git flow init and production is master, develop, release here. Cool. So now git flow release start 1.3.4. And then here, what we can do is, do we have a change log? No. So let's add a change log here, and then 1.3.4. Will added the create command opens up the browser all right, so then this is this, and what I want for the bump version is this and this, and current version is 1.3.4, and then cmd main.go is 1.3.4, and now all right, so this is here, and let's add, so change log and current version and 134. So releasing 1.3.4, commit, so then git push. Why isn't it? All right, so git push origin release 134, so git track. All right, so git push origin release 1.3.4 and git flow release finish 134. Awesome. So then this is this and 134 create flow. Okay, so this is gonna merge master, and then this is push and develop, and then git push dash dash tags. And now push in master. And what we should see here on Travis, if we look at Gong, is, as you can see, it's the 134, and it's gonna be, oh, we had an error? What was the error? Clone. Okay. So this is okay, actually. Current. So 134 is building, master is building, and develop is building, which is cool. And yeah, we're looking good. So we're gonna remove Bashir, and we're gonna start implementing it tomorrow. All right, so I think this is enough for today. And thank you for being with me. And I'm probably going to see you tomorrow. Again, follow up on Twitter here if you want to check out, when I'm streaming and everything. Be sure you follow the Fullstack network. our blog. And again, on here with the channel, um, I would really love, if you follow and subscribe, because that helps with, you getting the newest and greatest content. And thank you for being here, especially for, the people who participate and ask questions and add comments. And yeah, gonna see you tomorrow. Bye bye.